We will always be Patriots from Parkview. And you know, there might be some things that say the same. I bet when you come back to visit, Mr. Andrew Johnson will have a sweater on. Mr. Green will be on the scene. Mr. and Mrs. Marsh will be planning their next photo shoot for the yearbook. Miss Morgan will be walking through her classroom. Mr. Poff and Coach Mullins will be thankful they still have a job after using choice words in class. And Mr. Wagner will be looking for his favorite movie. You think pick giving you in school was bad? You wait till you see Miss C. Mr. Mitchell will still pretend to be a tech ed teacher when he's really a model for GQ. And where is Miss Mahaffey? Is there a bread bakery close by? We know Mr. Hinders never loses his cool, but there's a red-headed senior out there that has that distinct honor. Hey, Rosenthal, any bananas today? And we all know where Miss Wolfgang might be placing her foot. Sangla, did you ever find out who stole that cake? Maybe it was Paul Newman. And Miss Bartow might be getting a new name, but she's still putting on the best proms. Look out, Miss No, there's a lot of senior girls waiting to raid your shoe and purse closet. Mr. Yurish will be all fun and games, and if anyone is wondering if Miss Garzicki is retiring, it's called I Don't Think So. And now for some Smith advice. First of all, find someone you want to be like and define to yourself what that quality is you want to emulate. So right now, think of that someone and tell the person in front of you their name. So right now, just lean forward and tell somebody the name that you want to be like. People in the front row, turn around to the back. I should hear everybody chatting, chatting, chatting. Okay. It's common to think of our moms and dads as our heroes, but to clarify why they are so special helps us reinforce those good things. For example, my mother, who is 85, along with her sister, my aunt, led a very tragic and sad childhood. As my sister and I were growing up, we were always amazed at how they had overcome their losses and went on to lead positive lives and become wonderful parents and family members. Maybe it's a teacher or coach you admire. Ask yourself, why do you want to be like them? You never know how forming those thoughts can steer you in certain directions. My admired teacher was my home ec teacher, Mrs. Baker. She taught me for several years in middle and high school, and I thought, I want to be just like her. In my first year of teaching, 1975, I taught at my old high school with Mrs. Baker in what was her last year of teaching. And I thought to myself, I want to be just like her. Last week, I saw a picture of Mrs. Baker out in a restaurant celebrating her 99th birthday, and guess what? I want to be just like her. I hope you've realized how devoted your teachers have been to you in Parkview. They have shared the same emotions many of your parents have: love, pride, can I just choke them and get away with it? There are teachers who have worked, these are the teachers that have worked so hard for you, motivated you, encouraged you, and guess what? It worked. Keeping our fingers crossed, and it's not official, but the numbers look good. We will be fully state accredited next year. Next bit of advice. As much as you think it does, money does not buy happiness. I'd almost wish you'd realize this more than anything else right now in life. Yes, money can buy things to make life easier, but it's people, not those things, that make us happy. When we see the pain someone like Vice President Biden endured last week, we're sure he would give up all the power and money he has to spend one more day with his son. We've even had recent sadness in our own Parkview family to remind us of how fragile life is. There are no answers to the whys of these losses, but sometimes the lessons learned are that we need to hold on to each other and not let go. Next, be a responsible citizen. What a great country we have. Embrace it, enjoy it, and use your vote to make it better. I hear comments about how schools don't say the Pledge of Allegiance anymore. I don't know about other schools, but at Parkview, that pledge is said every morning. And if you're in my class, you stand when it's being said. Many years ago, I had a student challenge me by stating, "There's something called the Constitution, and I don't have to stand." My response was that my father, a World War II vet, fought for that Constitution to give him the right to sit, and in honor of him, could you please stand? Well, he did, and so has every other student I've taught. This imperfect country is the greatest in the world, and many men and women have fought to keep it that way. At this time, would those graduates please stand again that are joining the military, and anyone in the audience, any veterans or military personnel, please stand at this time. Thank you for your service. We all need to be a voice for the future. You are the future. Use your voice. And now my last bit of advice. Take out those earbuds and put down the phones. Really, I mean it. Start talking to each other. Right now, the whole audience is going to do a little participation. Tell your neighbor to the right your favorite food, the neighbor to your left what you're doing tonight, and the person behind you where you hope to be next Sunday afternoon. So I should be hearing a lot of chatter, 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 chatter.
I'm drilling out there.
When is that tonight?
Yeah, it's after this.
Oh, boy. See? You all talked. It was very easy. You didn't have to text it. You must start communicating with the people around you. And just for the record, it's pasta, tearing up this speech, and spending the day with my two favorite dads, my husband and my son-in-law. And now for a definition. What is a patriot? Well, Webster says it's a person who vigorously supports their country and is prepared to defend it against enemies or detractors. But I'll tell you what a patriot is. It's homecoming dances that rock, followed by fabulous proms, where much of the fun takes place in the lobby with fake gambling. It's accepting each other's differences and thinking we're all alike. It's Bermuda Day and dodgeball. It's a fundraiser with pizza or pancakes at Joe's. It's food drives and coat drives. It's pink shirts for breast cancer awareness and the band marching to a member's house for a welcome home performance. It's the new Patriot Nation with the Red Zone and the bringing back the bonfire. It's helping others with Big Brother, Big Sister, Peer, Patriot Pals. It's the Little Ponies and 28 nations welcoming our global ambassadors. It's a student body raising more money with their spirit links than ever before, so then we can turn around and give it away to others. It's outdoor lunches that become indoor ones, but they're still so fun. It's the most awesome senior prank that helped teachers get boxes and was cleaned up by the seniors, because that's how they roll. It's pep rallies and bragging about winning the Spirit Stick, but knowing in our hearts we are the Patriots of Parkview High. When I walked in that back door of Parkview High School 36 years ago, we looked a lot different back then. Many times over the years, people have asked, why did I leave and have a change? I've always said, I don't need a change. Parkview changed for me, and those changes brought challenges and chartered new territories for me and our school. As I faced some of these, I knew I was becoming a better teacher because of them, but more importantly, a better person. And I feel all of you are better people for being patriots. Thank you for giving me the best job I could have ever had. I will keep a piece of you in my heart forever. Okay, now you can give it to me. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Anthony Bauer, School Counseling Director, to offer the profile of our 2015 graduating class.
Good afternoon, class of 2015, families, and honored guests. I would like to take this opportunity to share with you some profile information about this fantastic senior class. The class of 2015 began this journey approximately 18 years ago. The 285 graduates we have here this afternoon hail from 5 continents, 22 countries, and many of the 50 states in the United States. We have students graduating today from the countries of Algeria, Belize, Bolivia, Canada, the Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Ethiopia, Guatemala, Honduras, Iran, Kenya, Mexico, Pakistan, Peru, the Philippines, Sierra Leone, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Thailand, Turkey, the United States, and Vietnam, in alphabetical order. All of you have begun your lifelong journeys from places far and wide, and you have all come together at Parkview High School in Sterling, Virginia to obtain your secondary education. You have come together as community here and worked hard to launch the next step on your journey. The class of 2015 has decided to continue to celebrate their diversity by selecting many varied opportunities. Next year, from this class of 2015, there are 76 of you who will be heading off to new adventures in college. You'll be attending college in 12 different states: Florida, Idaho, Michigan, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and the District of Columbia. Many of you will be attending the Virginia colleges of UVA, William and Mary, Virginia Tech, James Madison University, George Mason, Virginia Commonwealth University, Christopher Newport University, Radford, Longwood, Shenandoah, and Liberty University. For those of you attending college in other states, you'll be heading off to Brigham Young University, the Indiana University of Pennsylvania, Claflin University, Marshall, Michigan State University, the University of Ohio, Marymount Manhattan College, Miami-Dade College, Utah State University, Wilkes University, West Virginia, and Georgetown. Also from the class of 2015, 95 of you will be staying close to home and will attend Northern Virginia Community College. Of this 95 students, approximately 90 of you participated in the Pathways program, which will allow you to attend NOVA for 2 years while preparing you to transfer to a 4-year college or university upon completion of your associate's degree. From this class, 7 of you have chosen the option of serving our country in the military. These students have made the commitment to defending our country in various branches of the armed forces, and for that, we are very proud of you. We have 15 students who have decided to go directly into the world of work. 1 student has committed to serving his church by doing missionary work in the years following high school. We also have several students in this class who are still undecided about their plans for the years to come. Many of you have spent a lot of extra time completing financial aid applications. You wrote many essays and bared your hearts, souls, and wallets for others to see that the next step might not be able to happen without some financial assistance. Well, for the many hours that you spent working on these, I think it was worth it. Together, the class of 2015 received $1.9 million in financial assistance. Time well spent, I believe. Congratulations. All of you have made important decisions that will affect the rest of your lives. This next step is big. We can't wait to see the exciting things that you do in the years ahead. Thank you.
And now the Parkview Senior Ensemble and Choir will perform Omnia Sol by Randall Struppel.
Somewhere far from nowhere, I grew both strong and tall, longing to become, but knowing not the path at all.
But the footprints of the winter melt into fields of spring. One last embrace before I cross the threshold. To life we sing.
now it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the 2015 valedictorian, Ms. Jacqueline Martinez Chavarria.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to stand here and represent Parkview's class of 2015. I thought of many ways that I can give you a fair image of who we were these past 4 years, who we are now, and who I think we'll become as we part our separate ways after today. And from a dear teacher of mine, I learned that one of the best ways to do so is by telling stories. So to start off, I will read a brief story about my dear class. August 29th of 2011. Our summers were cut a week short as we began our freshman year. I still remember the comment everyone made when they saw me. "Wow, Jacqueline, you have not grown an inch." That same comment would follow me for the next 4 years. Let's face it, we were awkward. With the exception of a few of us, when we look back at our freshman pictures, we either laugh or we cringe. But if it hadn't been for those ridiculous outfits or those goofy haircuts we dared to have, it wouldn't have been freshman year. We began the roller coaster that it would be to be part of high school and Parkview High School specifically. We learned the best ways to get to our classes, how to cram before a test the next day. We were the little ones of school. And despite not knowing all the cheers during the pep rallies and having to mess up in front of everyone, getting lost more than once or twice, and having to ask for help, we carried on. August 29th, 2012. Again, our summers were shortened because everyone believed the snow would come for us that winter. But little did we know that Wade Breyer would patiently wait for the next 2 years to make his famous phone calls canceling school. It would be music to our ears. As sophomore year rolled around, we realized that we weren't the little ones anymore. We weren't the ones trying to figure out our way around high school. I still remember some of my classmates saying, "I remember when I was a freshman," as if it hadn't been just the year before we were in the same spot. We began to branch out by trying clubs, sports, challenging classes for the first time. We were proud of being Patriots, and we were certain when we walked through those halls that we were home. We had 2 more years to go, and the road seemed long, but we carried on. September 3rd, 2013, we were finally upperclassmen. We began our pep rally rivalry with the seniors. We began to coordinate ourselves better for school events. We were all finding ourselves and exploring our interests. Whether it was doing a lab in chemistry class or playing an instrument for the school band, we were confident in who we were and hopeful for what was to come. That year, we also became aware of the views other schools had of us, but that didn't lessen the pride of being a Patriot. Like the yearbook theme of that year reminded us, we know who we are: proud, bold, passionate, dedicated, and spirited. The opinions of outsiders didn't stop us from becoming leaders in the community and in the world. We didn't have to prove it to anyone, we simply were. We took it all in, embraced it, learned from it, became resilient, and carried on. September 2nd of 2014. Many of us walked into school that day, and it didn't feel like we were seniors just yet. We began the year with a new principal, Mr. Dolson, and some of our favorite teachers had left the building. It was strange how fast things had passed and how many things had changed since our freshman year. Graduation was so close, yet so far away. It was our time. We ran the house. I personally became a big yerd, a yearbook nerd, enjoyed my last time being part of the International Summit, and like many others, applied to college. It was odd that we were beginning to create our paths, planning our lives after this day. It was terrifying, but when the letters of acceptance came in the mail, or when we were certain about our future plans, we were overjoyed. But with the joy of senior year, the infamous senior struggle of senioritis also took hold. I promised myself over and over that this would never happen to me. I would not procrastinate. I would not slack off one bit. But when it was 2 a.m. in the morning and I still had 800 words to go, sorry, Mr. Zangla, I knew I had a bad case of it. We had to continue pushing through, making sure we continue working as hard as we had for the past 3 years. even though all we had in mind was graduation day. Between all the learning and studying, we're being inspired to push our boundaries. And that way, we carried on until today. Today, we get to walk across the stage, receive our diplomas, and pass the tassel in our caps to the left. We are hungry to explore what else life has to offer. Some of us will head off to college, some will join the military, some will continue working, some of us are uncertain. Regardless of our future plans, take a moment to look around, because this is the last moment we get to share as a class. All I can say is that I hope that we keep looking forward, but we never forget where we came from, Parkview High. When I came to the United States 9 years ago, I never imagined